Okay, start getting feed. Now, I'm not going to stand here and preach to everyone, but here I am standing here preaching to everyone. You cannot expect a horse to put on weight or be rehabilitated by having one hard feed every 3 or 4 days. Just can't happen. When I get horses in here who need to put on some weight or need rehabilitating or have some sort of gut issue or who knows, they come with all sorts of issues. 2 hard feeds a day they're getting, depending on what they need. And if someone doesn't tell you that, and that's just hard feed, and then they get hay, and then they have pasture as well. So if somebody doesn't tell you that kind of stuff, and that a horse needs to eat approximately every 4 hours so that the acid in their stomach doesn't start to give them ulcers eating away at their stomach lining, somebody doesn't tell you that, how are you meant to know it? How do you know what you don't know? So that's why I'm starting this little mini series on what you may not know and how to know what you don't know. And I've got a lot of knowledge now that no, that was the wrong bucket. Witchery does not get any chaff. So how do you deal with it when your horse has something wrong with it? You research. You look at published papers. You talk to people who have been there. You model proven practice. And if it doesn't work, you find what does and you do it. It's not rocket science. It's keeping horses is not rocket science. It's simple, but it's not easy. I wonder if I could do ASMR with this. I wonder what that sounds like. That was an ADHD moment. Me thinking, oh, I wonder what this would sound like. And you know where that came from? Me digging in there for the speedy beat, going, thinking, oh, people might like this sound. Anyway, it's my weirdness. So nutrition is a massive, massive, massive area of horse knowledge. And there's so much information out there about how you should, could, or would feed a horse. So, I'm not preaching to know everything, but I do have some really good ideas. One other topic I've been interestingly watching in the news is about unqualified riding instructors. And some of them I'm not sure if they're in Australia or not, potentially getting sued. I think they are in Australia for misrepresenting efficiency of training horses. And look, I've looked at that program and it was exceptionally expensive, and I went, oh, yeah, okay. That's all smoke and mirrors. There's no quick fix to everything. And unfortunately, they got a lot of unsuspecting, rich, new horse people and preyed on their insecurities and got them to buy a course that might have been $10,000 or $20,000 and didn't help them. So that wasn't very good. But it brings me back to, if you are getting yourself an instructor and you do want to improve the life of you and your horse, I do think it's important that you look at the background of the person that you're learning from. Have they studied before? What have they studied? Do they have qualifications? If they don't have qualifications, is there a reason? And, there are a lot of good informational sources out there. But I think you have to sort the wheat from the chaff. So if somebody's telling you, for instance, to hold the reins really tight, like death grip, I want you to start asking yourself, how do you think my horse would feel? If I had a metal bit in my mouth and my rider was tense all the time, I would have behavioral issues, for sure. I would be that wild horse that bucks people off and bites people. And I just want people to start to question the industry, that not everything everyone says is gospel. When I'm teaching, I say what I know, but if a student comes to me with a question that I don't know or don't understand, I say, look, I'll get back to you. This is what I think. Let me play with that. Let me play with that idea. Let me ask my instructor. Let me put it out to the forum. Let me look back in my studies of how that issue showed up, or how I should explain that. And I think if your instructor will only explain something one way and expect you to get it every single time, they're more than likely not the right person for you. So, with the qualifications I have, I understand humans on a completely different level. I understand the brain on a completely different level, having a cognitive neuroscience degree. So, on top of my teaching qualifications as well, and qualifications in horse management and horse care, and oh gosh, lots of things. So, humans learn all differently. We are all completely different in the way that we learn. So if your instructor doesn't understand that, hasn't learned about that, just expects to be able to say up, down, up, down, up, down, and you keep up for rise trot, some people need the nuts and bolts explained to them. Some people, when you explain the nuts and bolts, they're like, that's made it more confusing. So it's really important as a teacher that you work out what kind of student you have and then teach according to how they learn best. And that's how you keep people engaged. That's how you then go, that instructor's really good because they've got no bullshit. They're not telling me what I want to hear. Don't get that confused. They're giving you the hard, perhaps this horse isn't for you. Perhaps you need to work on school horses first rather than the horse that you've actually got. That comes with a sense of love from the instructor saying, I don't think that combination is suited, and that's okay. But if your instructor isn't willing to work with who you are and how you show up, and they're constantly expecting you to have perfection, not progress, then find another one. There are so many. I teach online, I teach from here. Like, go and find yourself the right person for you, because they can sell you anything. Anyone with a good strategy and a good marketing sales pitch can sell you anything. So make sure they resonate within your heart. And if you have a horse, they resonate with the horse. So if you go to a riding school and the horses are all super skinny, have scabs all over them, or, look, sometimes my horses play and they might have scabs. So I'm not talking about things like that. But if you feel that they're not looked after the way you would like them looked after, don't go back. Don't even sit in the saddle. Just walk away. Because it's only when we start to understand the welfare of the horse comes first. There are sometimes I don't teach, or there are times when people come and I say, look, this has happened, that has happened, we're doing a theory lesson. Because it's really important that the horses come first, not you getting in the saddle. It's absolutely all about the horses, and I never wanted a business that was about bums in saddles. Never. Never. And so I'm not aiming to do that. I'm aiming to have well rounded, educated individuals leaving this school out into the real world and spreading that message of peace and calm and being relaxed and understanding horse welfare and what they actually need in today's society to coexist with us in a way that they understand and that we understand, and we can get along without fighting with each other. Who wants to fight with a 600-kilo horse? Not me. I don't want to do that. I want to engage their brain. I want to engage their unique ability to want to connect with us. That's what I want. That's what I want from the horses. And you'll notice, no matter really which horse I go to, I can establish a connection with nearly all of them. They're all unique and they all have something beautiful to bring us. But we have to find that, get rid of our ego, and unlock that. This was a lot longer than I thought, but these are my random musings. Bye.